Andy,
What?
you're supposed to kick the show off, bud.
Oh, sorry.
kick the
Hello
show
and
off?
welcome to the Gooners podcast. Sorry, I thought when you said, "Are we ready?" we weren't just going live right away. How are you, guys?
Good, thank you.
We're clearly we're having internet issues. I think today's going to be a bit of a for the simple purpose that there are 5 billion people in the world that are all using their internet at the same time, and it seems to be hitting the podcast community extra hard here. So today, Andy, I missed you.
You missed? Why? I've seen you a lot. I've seen you a lot recently.
Wait, you guys aren't practicing social distancing? What's that about?
Join us, son.
Ever since I've known Mike, I've practiced social distancing from him.
When it comes to Andy, let's get on. We've never met actually.
I think Mike is about 5 seconds behind all of us.
This is gonna be a shit show. Anyway, if only one of you were on, whichever one it was, I'd say you are our favorite guest because both of you are here. I've got to be diplomatic. Today we've got 4 guests who are in 4 time zones, ranging 9,000 kilometers, proving that we podcast. Not the world's favorite podcast, just some kind. So first of all, joining us from La La Land, life that didn't involve nudity. It's Sophie Nicolaou, the soccer diva. Welcome back. Good to see you.
Thanks for having me.
And second, it's our pleasure. Second, he's the last English dude I saw before I fled London back on the first plane home to Washington, D.C. a few weeks ago. I'm not saying it's your fault, but I'm also kind of not.
Yeah.
It's Boxer, a.k.a. the guy who already regrets coming on our pod again.
No, it was weird, wasn't it? I saw you just before the shit really hit the fan, to be honest. But I'm glad that we had that opportunity, at least, before international travel was banned forever.
Isn't it interesting that we both saw you before the shit really hit the fan, Mike? That's very interesting to me.
Are you saying it's common link? Am I?
So I think we're all in agreement. Mike started the virus.
I think Mike's computer has a virus at the moment.
Yeah, definitely has a virus at the moment. I mean, I saw him at the West Ham game, so that's where the virus. West Ham started the virus, and then I think Mike took it on. And
so I got to see you there just before the West Ham game, which will forever be known as the last Arsenal game ever played. Sophie, and of course I saw you that day too. James, what and how much Rick and I enjoyed your 2-man show, The Boxer, at the Soho Theater. I knew it was going to be good. I didn't realize how good it was going to be. It made me laugh. It made me cry. I may have farted at one point during the performance. But really, seriously, great show. I enjoyed it. As soon as the purge is over, we're taking the show straight to Broadway.
Thanks, man. And I could smell that from the stage. I did wonder what it was.
I could tell. So here's what we're going to do. I'm going to try to complete. Why don't we spend just a minute while I do that, kind of giving memories of Rocky Rocastle. I obviously love the player. This is our first chance to podcast since his anniversary day, which was yesterday.
And now he's speechless. I think
to fix some technical.
Is he in Washington? Where is he exactly in the country?
He is. Well, he's just outside of Washington in Virginia. So anything he says, Donald Trump is listening to.
Right. Okay.
And
that's it's Trump on the line listening.
So we're blaming Trump for this. We're blaming Trump for everything.
I think that's just the go-to soap is fucking Trump did it.
We could blame Wenger. Let's blame Wenger. Let's just do that.
Either or. You're safe. You're safe if you blame one of those two. How are you guys handling the social isolation?
Obviously it's a terrible time and awful that this is happening, but I don't mind the isolation at this point. I reserve the right to change my mind in a few weeks' time, but the slower pace, I'm feeling a bit of a benefit to that.
Sure.
What about you guys?
Soph? I'm doing all right. It's just hard because we have a 3-year-old running around the house. So my wife and I are trying to split up who does what, who goes to the quieter room, depending on the more busy of a work day. But you know what? They've just said here April 30th seems like the new date for when, they're going to reevaluate if people can unisolate.
I have a genuine question for those people living at home with kids. Having sex with kids is hard enough as it is. So
why would you have sex with kids?
Okay, Mr. Funny. Okay, go make it really dark over there. Yeah, of course, he's working.
I'm not the one who said.
No, but seriously, like, how are people finding time to, have sex?
Fornicate. I suppose.
Or are people really social distancing? Are couples, married couples, straight, gay, whatever, is there none of that happening right now?
Well, I suppose if you're living with the person, it doesn't matter if you're having sex or not, right? Because you're still spreading germs.
Right.
Yeah.
So you may as well be having.
I don't think that's what Sophie was getting at, though. I think she was getting at the privacy issue.
Oh, you just wait for them to go to bed.
Yeah. Well, my strategy is I actually drew my strategy.
Mike's wife waits for him to go to bed before she has sex.
I drew my strategy from James. I do a one-man show every night, just like James, and it works.
I don't have kids. That's the.
I don't punch anything, but
sure.
All right, guys, I've been stepping all over. Really awful, but we're going to try to push through this anyway. You guys ready to play a game?
Mike.
Big time.
Let's do it.
Wonderful.
Oh, I'm gonna get killed here. Okay, let's take the old California
Arsenal's
shades
not
off.
Playing.
No.
Arsenal's not playing football right now, and Andy and I have had to stretch our minds to the absolute limits of creativity to kind of come up with the kind of content that tens of people are going to enjoy. But we couldn't come up with anything, so we're going to play this. So basically, here's the game, and apparently I didn't make this up. It's something that's been done by every single person on Twitter, but I just didn't know it. So this is called the Arsenal close-up game. How intimately do you know your favorite Arsenal players, past and present? I've made a set of about 15 to 20 Arsenal players, again, past and present. Starts with a pretty close-up picture of them, and the three of you will essentially raise your hand if you know who the player is in the picture.
How far back?
Get
when you say past, how far back are we going? Just so we know.
I think no more than the Birdie Me era, maybe.
Sure.
Most are good. I mean, they're all in color. Let's put it that way.
Okay.
All right. So if you know who the player is, don't just blurt it out. Raise your hand, and then and we'll kind of do a 1, 2, 3 kind of thing. And there's a point system which I'm not even going to bother explaining. So,
okay.
If you're in the chat, go ahead and.
This is going to work just great if he keeps freezing.
I thought he was fixed by James.
Well, I think I'm coming in and out. We posted this on Twitter, and we got about 8 different guesses. So who can name the Arsenal player?
Are we all having a guess, or is it like a buzzer beater? Because I would have.
If you know it, take a guess. But if you get it, if you get it wrong, you're out.
Gunnar Block put his hand up. He put his
Andy
hand
was
up.
first. Andy was first.
So I just have to say that it's Mustafi.
That would be wrong.
That's what I thought.
That would be wrong. It is not Mustafi, and a lot of people on Twitter just kind of assumed it was Mustafi, but it's not.
Mm-hmm.
Can I have a guess? Is it
Absolutely? Go
Danny
ahead.
Ceballos?
Yeah.
Ooh.
It is not
Is that
Danny
wrong?
Ceballos. So it is not Danny Ceballos.
Okay,
go out
so
a little
I'll have
bit
a go
here.
then.
All right.
Okay. Hold on one second. So no Mustafi, no Ceballos. Who else can grow a beard like that? It's not Pablo Mari. He's too new. I don't think you'd do that to us. Shit.
I think I know it.
Are we any further out?
I'm going to go Callum Chambers.
Damn it.
All right.
That's what
It might be
It is
too dark,
not
though, the beard.
Callum Chambers.
Oh.
Oh, no. Oh, he's giving the teeth away a little bit.
James. did the teeth
Sorry,
give it away?
pass. I don't know.
I'll go Pablo
Andy.
Mari.
It is not Pablo Mari.
It's not. It's not.
Oh, I know who it is.
Oh,
Who's going to guess it? All right, Andy.
Ceballos.
no, he said
It is
no.
not.
Oh, it's
No.
not. You already said it wasn't?
It
Yeah.
is not Danny Ceballos. James.
Is it Nacho Monreal?
No, it's too
It
dark.
is
The beard
not
for
Nacho
Nacho.
Monreal.
It's not Socrates
Woo!
either. It's not Socrates. Socrates never
Let
smiles.
me just say that we got 7 different players guessed, but none of them got it right.
I
Is
really
he a
want
current? Is he a current or past player? Help
Well,
us.
based off the kit, he's got to be current.
It's a very modern
Current.
kit.
It's a very modern kit. It's the new kit, and he's gonna. It may be. And you said no to Pablo Mari, right? You said that it wasn't him.
It's not Pablo Mari.
Ooh.
And again, my computer is all.
No.
Martinelli
up right now.
can't grow a beard like that yet, can he? Not really.
No, he hasn't hit puberty yet.
What in the world wide is? You guys are seeing my my photo viewer loading, right?
Yes.
All right.
We can see your cursor moving around. I'm going to take a guess. I'm going to go with Lori Ziegler in the chat room and say it was Carl Jenkinson.
Yeah, I was gonna.
Oh, it is.
Yeah.
Carl Jenkinson. It is very tricky because you wouldn't associate him with start the preseason here.
Good one, Mike.
I wish I could find the.
It's always hard to. It's also very hard to, ascertain when Jenkinson's actually an Arsenal player or not.
True.
I think he's still on the team,
Thanks,
even though
James.
he's not on the team.
Well, even when he's on the team, is he on the team?
Right. Yeah.
That was tough.
That was a tough one. Damn it. Okay.
All right,
I
but
enjoyed it,
They're
though.
not all going to be that tough. Trust me. So
Cliffhanger, Dallas style. Come on, we're just getting into the game.
if this is your
I have a feeling he was asking us if it's our first
first time,
time.
this is technical issues here today. All right. So
Is it wrong that I disagree with him?
all right, let's get this screen share back up here. All right, so there's the full picture.
There he is.
Carl Jenkinson.
There it is.
Glory.
Looking
Wow, he looks so
exciting.
So much older and wiser. That picture.
He's not
all
as
right,
tall
our
as
next
you
one.
expect. Ooh.
Oh, that's Cesc Fabregas.
Yeah.
Oh.
It is not Cesc Fabregas.
Damn it.
Mike,
Any
does
other
Jake
guesses
have an
before we go a little
Xbox somewhere
further?
else in the house?
Yeah.
I kicked Jake's Xbox off, but there's 8 other kids here playing PlayStation.
That could be.
I'm not looking at the.
Yeah,
I'm not looking
I'll-
at the comments.
That could be
I'll
Mesut.
take a guess. I'll go with Robin van Persie.
Never.
It's not Robin Van Persie. Let me enlarge this a
Tell
little
if
bit.
Mike
I would never
is
do that
trying
to
to
you.
be suspenseful or if
All
he's
right?
freezing.
Does the forehead give it away?
Oh,
Oh,
James.
is it Kleb? Kleb.
It is not Kleb.
the hair's
It's
too
either
dark for
Kleb
Kleb.
or Kleb.
Okay.
Is it
No,
Is it
those,
Flamini?
Ah,
winner.
good guess.
Do you know what
Sophie,
it
I
was?
think,
It was
pulls into
the
whatever lead that we-
wrinkles. It was the wrinkles.
Those $1 billion wrinkles. Now, where is he when we need someone to buy the club? He cares. Does he really have the $1 billion, or is it all tied up in stock?
Investments and stock. It's not cash flow, is it really? It's
I'm back.
Well, I don't
Sorry
know.
about that.
I don't know that we have any cash flow with our current ownership situation either. Two, we got Matthew Flamini. The next one I think is a little tricky, but then it won't be. Let me enlarge that.
what the hell is
That is.
I got it.
Looks like the surface of the moon. Andy's going to take a
I'm gonna
guess.
go Abu Dhabi. Abu Dhabi.
that?
Abu Dhabi. What are you saying? Are you saying that you're not saying they
Diaby.
don't look the same, right? Okay.
I'm saying that's my guess. Is it right?
Diaby. Anyone else want to hazard a guess?
No.
Hazard a guess?
Is it Jovino?
Yeah,
not.
it's his forehead. Oh, that would have been.
Oh, this
great.
one's got it.
Everyone knows.
Oh,
Yeah.
Sanya.
Yeah.
I thought this could
Zachary.
potentially still trick some people into Gervinho, but I guess the light braids do kind of give it away there.
Mm.
Yeah, that was the
Yeah.
giveaway right there. We all get a point for that one, I think.
Yeah, and I believe me, I stopped keeping track of points already because I'm trying to just keep my computer going. All right, so Bakary Sanya recently not so chuffed with the comments from his teammate Cesc Fabregas, I've heard. But to each his own. All right, here's our next one.
Stop.
Oh, that I know. That's Nacho. That's got to be Nacho.
It's
It could be Dixon. Sorry, go on.
it's Lee Dixon.
Yeah.
I think Andy's right.
Yeah.
All right, so we have two Lee Dixons and one Nacho Monreal switching to Lee Dixon.
Yeah.
This was one of the easier ones. Do we have?
It's exactly the same, you guys. It hasn't changed one bit.
No.
No. I'm sticking with it.
Man, I was prepared for some, Sonogos and
Right?
yeah. I thought, yeah. Let's see.
Well, there's still plenty of people left, and of course now. Lee Dixon, I think everyone got that one.
Oh, great.
And let's see who's next here. And
It's crazy to think that Sonogo actually played in an FA Cup final, isn't it?
Yeah, isn't it?
Yeah.
I'm not eligible for the next one.
Oh, on the pitch. He was on the pitch.
This one.
That is correct. So Andy's going to have to sit this one out.
Okay.
Plus, he's a dentist.
Who the hell?
Any guesses? From
I'll have a guess at Cesc Fabregas.
Okay. That is not Cesc Fabregas.
Doesn't look like his teeth. It's almost as definitive as Jovino's forehead, and it's just escaping me. It's not Santi Cazorla, is it?
Oh, I know who it is.
James.
Is it Chesney?
It is Chesney. It is indeed.
Yeah.
James with the.
He looks just
James
like my
gets that
brother.
one.
It's uncanny.
There's the full picture. Hold on a second.
That's a great picture.
Was.
All right. So,
Good
Andy,
old
you're
was.
back
Excuse me.
in the game.
Thank you.
Going to start out maybe a little hard.
His gum to teeth ratio is a bit off. I'm gonna go Patrick Vieira.
Andy just jumps in so quickly on a certain type of picture. It is not Patrick Vieira. Any other guesses?
I'm going to say Viltord.
Ooh, good guess.
I think
It's not Will Tord.
I think Lauren.
It is not Lauren. So we're going to go to the next round here.
Maybe did I?
Oh.
Oh, yeah, we all
Yeah.
know that.
That's a quick giveaway.
I skipped out for a second.
Eboué, no?
Did we get it? Okay,
Yeah,
yes,
we
that
all
is,
got that one.
The beloved, other than for 20 minutes, Emmanuel Eboué.
What a smart.
Some of these meant to be harder than others. All right, this one may not be too hard either, but Lewis White, who should know a thing or two, he thought it was Saul Campbell for a second, but
Nick wasn't thick enough.
so here's our next.
Oh, this one's easy.
Well, it's either Senderos, right? It's got to be Senderos.
It's
Yeah.
Senderos.
You got it. Yeah, you got to get all right. So everyone got that one.
Do you think
this was the first one I actually.
Do you think he still sees Drogba in his nightmares?
No, 100%.
Yeah.
I hope he sees somebody in his nightmares because I don't know. People, when I started, when I was able to really plug back into Arsenal again once they were on television regularly, and my kids was like 37 years old and ending his career with us. This was like 2000.
Okay, there's a moment in our lifetimes that we've had to witness
pretty long.
him be captain.
I know.
I was going to say, was that like an Carling Cup game or something where he was captain?
It must have been.
Maybe.
Yeah.
He's not still playing in Houston, is he, Soph?
No, not right now. Well, I don't know who's playing anymore, but he was, yeah.
I think he just retired.
Just retired, yeah.
I love when people are like, I'd like to announce my retirement. And I'm like, I didn't realize that you had been playing for the last 10 years. But
He's a nice chap, though. He was always really friendly, Senderos. Oh, my God.
Giroud.
Ooh, I like that guess.
I think it's Ozil. He's deceptively
I think that person looks slightly more muscular than Ozil. I don't know. Let's have a guess for fun. I
think Ozil's more muscular than people think. He's got more definition, James.
Yeah, I think you're probably right.
it is not.
Oh, that's a
Ozil.
good guess by Lewis again. Wilshere. That's a good guess, Wilshere. The nips look a bit dark, though.
So far, we don't.
Is it Arshavin?
We don't. It is not. We do not have it yet, so we shall now enlarge it a little bit.
Oh,
it's
I know
Arsene.
It is. It's Arsene, yeah.
I love how you took a 70-year-old man and said, "Yeah, that looks more muscular than our supposed $350,000 a week player."
I was fooled by the perspective. I didn't realize how zoomed in we were or not.
Yeah. Plus, he's got a very saggy pair of muscular pectoral muscles.
Yeah. Also, it's a long old torso, right?
Yeah.
I mean, the dude's not in awful shape, although this isn't doing him any favors.
I will say, if I could look like that when I'm his age, I would be very happy.
Yeah, big time. I'd look like that now, happily.
Yeah. Yeah.
My body for that, and I would do a lot of other things. So, we've lost Sophie.
Yeah.
It's not for everybody, I guess.
She just needed a moment to herself to view this picture. I'll leave it up there for her. Okay. Well, we'll hope to whether she's said anything. All right, so yeah, that is Arsene Wenger. I did say Arsenal players, past and present, but I think this one probably
It's a good one though.
qualifies.
Oh, that looks to me like quite a chunky finger. Although we've just learned I have no sense of perspective.
Who was the ab guy?
It was Arsene.
No.
Yeah.
Wow.
The other picture
great.
I was going to post was that the
It looks amazing.
picture of Hexy on the beach surrounded by Brazilian models or whatever it was, which is literally my favorite 3 pictures of him. And one of these is it's complete. The one lying on the beach and the one where he at the station. I know that was not his brightest moment, but I find it so funny sometimes because he just picked himself up and dusted himself off. But yeah, this was Arsene. This is our next one here.
I'm going to take a guess. Arshavin?
That's right.
Andy. Okay. All right.
I think that
any
might
other
be
guesses?
right.
So
That's got to be Arshavin and the Liverpool game, no? The shush, the 4.
I think Andy's right. Yes.
it
That's
wasn't
a
the
great-
Liverpool,
different game,
wasn't the
but yeah.
Liverpool game.
Different game, but yeah.
This was kind of his goal. That was one of the easier ones. So congratulations to David and Lewis and Ryan.
Oh yeah, good job, boys.
Anfield hat trick. Is it called a hat trick if you score 4? Does it cease to become a hat trick once you score the 4th, or is it just a hat trick plus 1? That's a question for the
Or a quadric. A quadric.
It's still, I mean, it's a hat trick plus, isn't it? He gets the hat trick. He gets the ball. That's the big deal, right?
The next one I think is going to be pretty easy.
Oh yeah, this one is easy.
Any guesses?
Yeah. Well, I'll let because I guessed first last time. I'll let these guys.
How's that easy?
Because it's a famous photo of him dancing.
Oh, great spot. Yeah, I know who it is. Sophie, do you know?
Have it. 1, 2, 3.
It's the idiot. I don't like him, right? Yeah. He's dancing like an idiot in the States as well. I remember I pointed that out to you boys.
Mm-hmm.
It's kind of like...
Yeah.
Yeah.
It says everything about why he's a shit defender.
I mean...
What a plank.
It is funny. It
is.
This picture and the one of him presenting his anus to the referee a couple years ago. I mean, those two just kind of tell you everything you need to know about Shkodran. But,
yeah.
Well, he's improved under Arteta, so we'll give him that, right? We'll give him that.
But, you know,
Yes.
We'll never get the chance to see what he could have been, I suppose. All right, next one. We're halfway through, so next one here. Probably not that
easy.
hard. Yeah.
Is that Romford Pele?
Yeah.
Yeah. All right.
See,
where's Alan Brazil?
Okay.
Really, James?
No, I don't. I'm obviously not very good at this game. I must be very lip dependent or something. I'm always looking at people's mouths like I'm going to kiss them.
Well, I specifically.
You probably would have
recognized
recognized him if Alan Brazil was next to him.
I chose this panel because I needed someone who was lip dependent, someone who was ass dependent.
Sure.
And then Andy.
I knew I was just ticking a box.
Andy, who needs to see a penis.
Oh. Yeah.
Okay.
So are you the ass dependent one then, Mike? Is that where you were going with that?
I'm just dependent overall.
Yes, indeed.
All right. So that is
blowing locks.
Sporting some locks that that he doesn't. Let's just say he doesn't have them anymore. You think that's by choice or by?
Oh no, he was salon selective. He was in the oh my god, I'm having a brain fart. The guy who's on BBC now with the blonde locks played for Derby and Blackburn.
Robbie Savage.
Yes, they were in the salon selective group. there's a piece to do next. Ooh, the coiffed hair.
What
Oh my God.
body part is that?
It looks like an injury.
Could be an anus.
It looks like an anus.
You know, I mean, if you guys are proper Gooners, you would know players by their ani.
Hey, Sophie,
Anyone
what do you want to be the anus person? So who is this?
Apparently,
you're
I'm the
our-
anus
you're-
person. I mean, it's a little, you know.
You're our go-to.
I mean, I'm just saying who sent the memo. I'm very upset about that.
All right,
Whose
any guesses?
Uranus is that? It could be Steve Bold.
Based on what?
I mean, based on, I have to take a guess with this image currently sitting in front of me.
Okay.
I'm going to go with Steve Bold. I don't know why.
Okay.
There
It
you
is
have it.
not Steve Bold.
Of course, it's not. It's
I'm going to guess
come on.
Theo Walcott.
Oh yeah, correct.
The anus
yeah.
becomes a little less anus-like when you zoom out a little bit.
That was very tricky.
So
But it is a little bit anusy.
You can see why I went for Steve Bold, though, right?
No.
no,
Because of Steve Bold's famous anus.
No, Sophie, I
How-
cannot.
No. Oh, bless.
James,
Look how
on-
young Theo looks there. Oh.
James, on your award-winning podcast, Handbrake Off, how often does Lee Dixon spin yarns about Boldy's anus?
Oh, every week we have
I'm
to cut
just-
them out because they get disgusting. To be
See,
honest,
I'm just
Those
saying.
group stories.
Yeah.
All right, quick poll. Theo Walcott with the club. 3 options. One is his hat trick against Newcastle in the 7-3. 2 is scoring a goal in the FA Cup final. I guess I think that was against Aston Villa. Or 3, this one.
This.
I think it's this, isn't it?
It's got to be this. Absolutely.
I've always said with absolute disrespect to Theo Walcott that the guy's great. I mean, this guy scored. He's a centurion with Arsenal. Yet his greatest moment in an Arsenal kit was glove for Theo Walcott.
If he'd have scored the only goal, if he'd have scored the only goal in that FA Cup, then that would be the moment, right? That would have been really special, but he didn't. And Newcastle 7-3, again 7-3 scoreline. But this moment, the bravado of it all was just wondrous. It's iconic.
Yeah, it was great.
Yeah,
I'll never forget that. And if we had only beaten Aston Villa 1-0 after having Arsenal fans probably would have been saying, why didn't we? The next one, also an icon. I'm going to enlarge that.
Oh, that's is that the Chelsea sending off the defender? No, it's not. I'm thinking of guys. Who am I thinking of?
Who's our tongue person?
I said I was mouth, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Your lips. So I think tongue probably should be in your purview.
I think
it's a bit Giroud-ish.
I think this is the Martin Keown over Van Nistelrooy.
Van Nistelrooy, yeah.
Moment. That would be my guess.
Yeah.
I don't think that's Martin.
Who was the Chelsea game? The Chelsea sending off. Who am I
James's
thinking of?
expertise is shining through right now. It is not Martin Keown.
I think it's. I've got no idea. That's Mike.
Is that you, Mike?
You did say it was an
tongue
iconic
My tongue
moment.
is a prized. I'm very careful with who gets to see it.
Is that you trying to lick Andy's ear?
Yeah. Oh yeah.
It looks a bit like.
This is kind of what he looked like.
So this is a risk for what I'm saying, because obviously it's an Arsenal player. But right now, that to me looks a bit like Gary Neville. But it's not Gary Neville.
Right.
So
now.
whoever
Are you
it
saying
really is.
Are you saying at this moment that reminds you of Gary Neville, or that reminds you of Gary Neville as he looks right now and his walks around?
I meant the former, but the latter works too.
It's a combo of Gary Neville and who's the Brazilian defender? I'm having a brain fart. Chelsea
Paulista?
game got sucked into Paulista.
Yeah.
But it's not him
Good shout.
either. But it's not him. No.
It is not Paulie. It's not Gabriel.
It's not Giroud
All right.
either. It's not
No?
GQ, is it?
I think the next one may give it away, but since we don't have anyone in the chat want to hazard a guess on
Is
this one?
it
I
Poldy?
like Lewis's. I like
when he tried to
Lewis's
grow
Mark
moustache.
Overmars guess.
It is not Mark Overmars, and I love that Soph is in with another Boldy. She's just going to keep guessing.
No,
Boldy.
no, Poldy. I said Poldy. I said, is it a Poldy when he was
Poldy.
trying to grow a moustache? When he was trying to grow.
I'm gonna throw Flamini in just to throw it in.
Give us another clue.
Okay.
Come on, this one.
Seeing as how we do not have the correct answer yet, we're going to go a little wider here.
Oh,
God,
it's Granite Xhaka.
Yeah, it's Xhaka. Yeah,
Mm.
it's Captain Fantastic.
You sure about that?
I think so.
Someone's suggesting Ashley Cole. It's not Ashley Cole.
Whoa!
Mind blown. Okay, let's stop. Let's breathe. Let's breathe.
Zoom out a little bit, Mike.
I don't want to go to the next one.
It's Gary
Yeah.
Neville then.
It
was Gary Neville all along.
Is it a red herring?
Zoom out.
Is
or
it
zoom
Gary
in?
Neville?
No, zoom out like that. Yeah.
It is not
How is
Gary
that
Neville.
not Granite.
It's not Cola. It's not. No. Is it a current player or a past player? Because this is when it gets to this stage, we can ask that. I think
Yeah,
It is
I
a
like
past
that.
player.
a past player.
Past player scored.
It's not.
Jack Wilshere.
Is it
Oh.
Rambo?
Scored a lot of goals, did you say?
Jack Ramsey.
Is it
Scored a lot of
Paul
goals.
Merson?
Oh, we should have got that from the final with the whole.
Oh man.
How did we miss that? Well done, James. Well
Yeah,
done. Bringing
James.
it in right there. Well done.
It's the mouth,
Oh,
guy.
and it's that shot.
The mouth is my thing.
You know,
James.
if at once you don't succeed, you just keep plugging the mouth, and then you'll eventually get it. This is one of my favorite ones. I love that that it took a few guesses to
Yeah,
get,
that's
so.
fun.
All right, this one I expect Andy to get right away.
Freddie.
Yeah, it is.
I could get it right away. It's Freddie, right? It's either Freddie or GQ Giroux. So pick one. Go on, give me the bell. Bam, 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 bam.
It's no, it's actually it's a buoy. No,
Yeah, it's Freddie.
Oh yeah.
Come on.
Wow.
I
Giving
got that in
Arsenal a
like
run for his money.
0.2 seconds. That was a good one. Isn't it funny how
we're lying in separate beds.
that was the most?
Oh, you know. What do you say
I know
in
you love your
America when
Freddie.
you don't want to answer?
You take the fifth.
Yeah.
You take the fifth. Yeah, but there's only 3 of them there. You can't take the fifth. All right.
What I love about
yeah, this
Freddie
was
is in the summer when Mike yelled at him if he ate pizza, his response was, "Would I have a body like this if I did?" And then he just
Amazing.
walked away.
all right. Next one. This might be a tough one.
Anelka.
Ooh.
I'm gonna go Yaya Sanogo.
Okay. Any other guess?
Giroux.
It's Senderos. Okay.
Hang on. It's Colo.
Yeah.
It is not Colo.
No,
Oh, that's so embarrassing. Okay.
it's not Ashley either.
And it's not
I
Sanogo.
love the ref that sent the wrong guy off. What was the ref that sent the wrong guy off? It's
That's Pepe. Isn't that Pepe? Is that not Pepe?
There's a lot of that. It is not Pepe. We have Akpom being guessed. That is not. We have Welbs. We got Chamak.
It's definitely not Yohan Giroux. No. That's Sonogo, no?
I've said Sanogo since
He
the
said
first
him like
guess.
5
I
minutes
know.
ago.
I know you did. I just didn't want to. I didn't want to stop and give it away. That's an amazing. It's an amazing pull off of. How did you get Sonogo? Just because he's random and you know me?
Well, as good as James is with mouths, I'm really good with foreheads.
Right.
That's my thing.
And apparently I'm good with dick, so whatever.
That could be a soundbite.
And bald guys' anuses. Yeah, we gotta cut that and splice that out. All right. Well done on the Yo-Yo Sonogo one. I did not expect that to go on the
Great
first.
shout.
Yeah.
Sonogo.
As Michael Hernandez says, face, and I can't remember that guy. So this is not one that's probably going to go over too well with the iTunes set. So if you're listening to this on iTunes, you're going to want to catch us on the
We
YouTube.
probably don't want to post this on iTunes.
No, that's also kind of true. But just post it by saying you're missing out. Come watch it on Facebook or YouTube, because there's nothing odd. Next one. Who's our hair person?
Oh man.
See, he had long hair at one point, but you've already done Flamini, and you're not going to do that twice in a row. You're not going to. You can't do it twice.
It's an older picture.
It's
than
an
that.
older picture. It's not. No, you haven't gone that far back, have you? Have you gone back as far back as the 70s?
I think so.
It can't be Charlie George.
I was going to say Charlie George, but I didn't know you'd gone back that far. Oh,
that's a good shout.
That's a good shout, Jeffrey. It is Armstrong.
It is. It's an incorrect shot, however. It is not Jordy Armstrong.
What about Charlie George?
Charlie George.
That was all our first guess.
It is not Charlie George. Ready for the next one?
Yeah.
Oh, Pat Rice.
Yeah. Is it?
It is Pat Rice, and I got to give it to Jeffrey. His second guess was correct. He did lodge that off of the first picture.
Jeffrey did very well there.
He did.
One of my favorite pictures there.
I'd like to take credit for leading everyone down the 70s path.
He looks like the drummer from Red Hot Chili Peppers in that.
The Monkees. He looks like Mickey Dolenz. Yeah, he looks like Mickey Dolenz. Yeah, totally. Yeah.
Look how old I am.
I love that shirt.
And cultured I am. Yeah.
So, that's a great picture.
Yeah, that is. I mean, considering like how I mean, not that this is when if you've met and been around Pat Rice in the last couple of years in his kind of ambassador role, this is just a different look for him. This shows kind of more youth and exuberance than you're used to seeing. I love it.
Great shirt.
So yes. Next we have.
Ooh. Everyone's going to say Tony Adams right away, but it isn't. The nose is not Tony Adams enough, is it? It's not as distorted as it should be. But it
is it. Dennis Bergkamp?
That would not be Dennis Bergkamp. All right. Any other guesses?
Is that Nigel Winterburn? Oh, no.
Ooh.
Oh, you just... Wow, who's that evil individual?
I think it's Voldemort.
That's Charlie George.
That's Charlie George, yeah.
Damn, Andy, good job.
I'm not being funny, but he looks like a sociopath.
That's a great picture.
Oh.
That's
very cool.
That's cool.
That just screams 1971 right there.
Yeah.
That's hot.
Or earlier, maybe. But yeah, man, that is kind of the intensity. If that amount of intensity existed in any of our current players, I think we'd be winning the double just like he did. So yes, Charlie George. We got 3 more, and then we can cap this technical masterpiece off.
Ooh.
That's Per Mertesacker.
Is it?
Could be another anus picture.
So.
It was on top of it.
No, that's a nose and a mouth. That's like a.
So if he hadn't already been in, I would say Chesney. But he's been in already.
That would be a good guess.
Everyone do this.
It's not Chesney. Andy?
Is it Per?
It is not Per.
Well, if it is Per, okay. Well,
Ready for the next one?
I'm going to say Jack Wilshere.
We have
That could be Cesc Fabregas. Actually, he had the tendency to like tighten up the nose and mouth muscles when he would run off to celebrate. Perhaps.
What are you, a scout? Good
I'm a nose.
Good
nose
leader,
and mouth scout.
tendency to sharpen his mouth and nose when he runs. This is the
Yeah,
scouting report on Cesc.
I'm gonna say it's Jack.
We got Andy saying it's Jack.
Like
we got
that
Lori
from
saying
Andy.
it's Jack. We got Jeffrey Werner, who's positive.
I mean, at some point, Arteta and Jack have to appear. That it's Jack. It's Jack. It's Jack. Yeah, that's Jack. Okay, yes, it's Jack. Yeah, it's fine. Oh, bless.
There he is. Not the most Jack-looking picture, but it's a little Jacky.
No.
What could have been,
Bless.
what should have been, but alas. All right, 2 more. Oh, there's the full picture, by the way.
This man looks
Number
about
19. I don't mean that by. I just mean it's the 19th picture, not.
So it's not
anything having to do with
Gilberto, who was number 19.
Well, I'm not saying it was number 19. I just meant that this is picture number 19.
It could be Ozil with the Popeye, but looking in a different direction. The eyebrows look like Ozil's, but the hairline there.
I'm gonna go.
That
is man, is that Chuba?
I'm going to take a crazy guess that I know is probably wrong, but I'm going to say it's a very distorted expression of Thierry Henry.
Oh no, I think I know. I think it's the Ox. Same with the group and the chat. It's a good shout.
Oh, it could be the Ox, yeah.
The other one, 3 people, Lewis twice, Ryan and David. Well spotted.
Wow, that's a good spot.
That's a really, really good guess, chat room. That's impressive.
You get it from the eye and the eyebrow.
We can't compete with that.
No.
You
have the wrong people on this panel.
Chat room are winning this big time.
For a while, I had his kid, had his shirt, loved his attitude, his comedy, his pranks, and then I just kind of.
Are you talking about Andy or the Ox now?
Both.
Yes, the answer is yes. Yes, I am. And then he fucked off to Liverpool, and I just I don't know. It was a messy breakup, I have to say.
Yeah, but he won the Champions League and half a Premier League. So
I'm not saying I blame him. I just saying I don't appreciate it. All right, the final one, and this may be I'm not sure if this will be easy or hard, but this is the final one here.
That's Diaby.
No.
No.
Anybody else?
That's Michael Thomas. It's up for grabs now. Thomas.
I think that might be
2-0.
right.
Come on, give it to us.
It is not Michael Thomas. As much as you would expect me to include Mickey Thomas, it is not Mickey Thomas. All right.
It's not Sylvain Wiltord, is it?
Yeah.
No, it's not Wiltord.
This is the old O2 kid, I think.
Yeah.
So is it Soul?
No. Is it?
We've got Wiltord in the chat. We've got Kevin Campbell in the chat. We've got Paul Davis, Lauren, Diaby, all incorrect. So far, no one has it.
Wait.
We're gonna have to go out to picture number 3.
Oh man,
that didn't really do much.
I think that's good though. It keeps the suspense alive.
This is a good last question, Mike.
It's not.
Don't zoom just yet.
It's not.
I'm trying to think.
It's the O2 kit. The O2 kit.
What are we seeing here on the left?
Yeah, I mean that's a clue, right there.
Yeah.
Ryan, it is not Colatore. What are we seeing there on the left?
Looks like he's
It's an iconic
touching
celebration.
another
It's
person.
something, yeah. It's
Might be our keeper.
Danny, it is not a young Lenny Henry. Is that a cross between Lenny Bruce and Thierry Henry?
Choking somebody.
So
it's not Vieira, Danny. It's Lenny Henry.
Lenny Henry.
This is a good one, Mike.
Yeah, this is really good.
This is the one good one. This one and the tits one.
Yeah, the tits one was good. This one.
It's not Sol Campbell. It's not Sol, right?
No,
We
he said it
Sol.
wasn't.
Is it a British? Is it a
The
British
next
player?
one may or may not.
I don't know.
The next one may or may not give it away.
Oh God.
All right, ready? We're going to move
Yeah.
on.
Yeah.
Oh. Yeah, I know now.
Strangle him. Get him.
It's your
All right,
boy. It's
and-
Pong.
I love this guy. By the way,
Remy.
this guy and Ox together were
Shit show.
were like
They're
a
shithousery.
comedy team made.
Yeah.
Look. I mean, if there's an Arsenal player that's all the time, but you would love to have on your club at any moment, I think this would be my guy.
Yeah, he's a good guy.
Single thing
No, it's
except for this.
nasty.
Yeah, and he's apparently. I mean, you want to talk about a career after Arsenal? Did you ever follow his career, like the teams he played for?
Yeah,
Mhm.
I interviewed him at the start of the season.
Russia, and he played in Russia. And I mean, he's played in some very strange leagues, I think, and finally hung up his boots like a year or two ago. But
Yeah.
We interviewed him out here once too. He was a very interesting guy. By the way, we were deceived by the kit. We all thought it was the O2 kit.
Yeah.
Kit.
I really thought it was the O2 kit.
Mm-hmm.
That was fun.
Yeah.
I
Wouldn't
was
end up seeing
terrible.
that,
Absolutely
that
terrible
badge
at it.
there. And I can't, I didn't end up keeping score because when you're amongst friends, there's no winners or losers.
I think the winners, Mike, are going to be the iTunes listeners.
The Dench are. But with the time we have remaining, since
I think the time we have remaining is you going to be buffering while James, Sophie, and I speak to each other. You're still frozen, so I think it might be a good time to just end it. This is just awful. Hey, James and Soph, we'll just leave, and then in 10 minutes, Mike will be like, "Where'd they go?"
He's back.
No, I'm back. So I was trying to do. This is where we actually give the guests a chance to talk about themselves. So since I saw you, any blogging, any podcasting, doing Highbury Squad? What else are you up to?
I actually recorded something that I really love yesterday with Kevin Campbell and integrated some game clips into it, like almost a mini doc. I've always wanted to talk to him about the Survival Sunday game between West Brom and Portsmouth because he came in during half the season and worked with Brian Robson, who was a player I always admired, regardless of him being a Manchester United player, West Brom player. I think him being England captain, I always admired him. So being able to talk to him about that game, the build up to it, the in-game moments, coming in, being made captain, in a relegation team and what that felt like. So if you ever get a chance to listen to that, it's on the Highbury Squad. I posted it yesterday and it's just one-on-one with me and him. And actually tomorrow I'm really excited because I'm going to do the Liverpool-Newcastle 4-3 game with Warren Barton, which has always been one of those games we all love. And, you know, the meltdown of Newcastle. And I've spoken to Warren about Keegan before, but to kind of just hone in on this one game, I'm really looking forward to that.
Is this going to be on camera or is this a pod?
The one with Casey was on a pod. The one with Warren will probably be on a pod too. And then I integrate the game clips into that. But I'd love to continue doing these. I've got some other plays lined up with one on specific games going forward. But
it must be hard for Warren in this current climate not to be able to get a spray tan on. You know, unless he's got a whole spray tan situation set up at his house.
Bless.
A spray tan would be your only kind of tan that you can get on at the moment. So
Warren even had a tan when he was at Newcastle. So
true.
Give him. He's a really good guy. He's always been really supportive. So I'm looking forward to the chat and getting his insights into the game, kind of from nuts to bolts.
Excellent.
Yeah, he's always been good on TV over here. I like him. He's good. He's good.
Yeah, he's been doing football here for decades.
Yeah.
I think. James, this show completes the trio of athletic and handbrake off guests. We've had Lee on last week with us. Amy's been on with us in the last couple of months, and now you again. You know, we're this the second best thing to being the official podcast of the Athletic, being friends with the people from the official podcast.
Well, thanks for having me.
How are things going for the Athletic and the new podcast and you know, tell us a little bit more about the future if we ever get back into a normal life of your one-man show.
Yeah, I mean, that's all crazy. I was going to tour in the UK in kind of October time, and that's all now been put back to next year already, just because there's now such a backlog of shows that that was the advice really. So that's fair enough. Everything with the Athletics cool. Obviously it's a challenge not having games to talk about, not having matches or access to players and managers, but I think we're doing some decent stuff over there. And there's a good episode of Handbrake Off this week. We had Lauren on alongside Lee Dixon talking about
nice.
Yeah, and it was interesting hearing Lee talk about, you know, when he found out Arsene planned to make Lauren the new right back, the successor, you know, how he felt about that and how he was quite accepting of it and tried to be a bit of a mentor and give guidance. Quite interesting hearing those two guys talk together about that dynamic and that evolution of Lauren's game. So yeah, definitely check that out when you get a moment.
I bet. I mean, having just spoken to Lee a week or so ago, he kind of made a brief reference to that. He wasn't sitting next to the man, but, you know, I think the interesting thing was he had a very who he would actually respect as his successor. He didn't have to say it, but I'm guessing that who was it? Lajny. He didn't necessarily look at him the same way as he did Lauren. So I think with Lauren, he found somebody that could carry the torch, and I'll have to listen to that. I hope everyone else does, because there's nothing better than hearing Arsenal players of the past talk to each other and kind of spit.
Yeah,
story podcast is, of course, the best one out there, and I'm saying that to hurt Andy's feelings, but and the show, The Boxer. I mean, I forget whether I said this before we got on air or after, but I went to the Soho Theater March 10th, right before I ended up fleeing to come home, and I knew that if there was a comedy show that included James, I would enjoy it, but it was much better even than I imagined. I mean, it's just a classy show. It's just a matter of how long it takes you to get there. But and the Soho Theater is an interesting place to, it's fascinating. They got like 7 shows going on at the same time, a bar,
it's quite a buzzy place. Yeah. Yeah, the contagion was high that night, unfortunately.
That place, but it's nice of you to come down and say hi afterwards. I know you had a lot of people clamoring for your time, but it's always good to see you, and Soph, always good to see you. Andy, maybe I'll get to see you someday. But let's vote.
Yeah, when the lawyers figure out the paperwork.
Yeah, the restraining order is
good
dropped.
to see you guys. I wanted to ask you guys a really quick question before we go, because all this news is breaking about the Liverpool half championship and Premier League players, perhaps the Tottenham situation with, staff being furloughed, players not, and all that kind of stuff. I think in this time, everyone's really struggling and everyone lives a life according to what they earn. And I think it's really easy to point the finger at players, and not every player earns 350 grand a week. So I think that's something that people really need to keep into consideration. Although I do think that, Ozil's done a lot for charity over this year, and we've seen what he's done with all the surgeries he's helped kids with. But I think it really is important that those super high earners do try and balance the budget as much as they can. We've only been in this lockdown 2 weeks, and for a club like Tottenham to already call it the way they have, a club like Newcastle, when small businesses are still trying to keep their business and their employees alive. I don't know how you guys feel about it. It's a very complex situation, but it's easy to point the finger, but there are some folks that can afford it. And I think in this time, in order for the game to kind of have some type of future, there does need to be a little bit of a sacrifice in some ways. And so I think it's just a really tricky time. As we laugh and joke, the game and everything that we're living for is at stake here. So I just wanted to kind of throw that in there and get your quick take on it. I don't know if you wanted to go there, but I had to ask because I really respect James's opinion too, and I love reading his stuff. And I know it's just
well. Let's go to James then for that.
Oh, great! Let's start with an easy one.
I was going to answer, but then she's like, "Well, the person whose answer I really want is James." So
I'll tell you. I mean, I had a lot of interesting conversations about it this week, and actually, I mean, look, I don't expect there to be much sympathy for footballers, millionaire footballers, with the money that they're on. But one thing that was really interesting was something that was being fed back a bit from agents and from the player side was a lot of these contracts are heavily incentivized around them playing games. And that's been a big trend in football in the last 2 or 3 years. Man City are one of the clubs, and there are other clubs too who have heavily incentivized contracts. So in some respects, they are already taking a pay cut of sorts by not participating. Nevertheless, I think there are discussions ongoing across the Premier League to try and establish some sort of uniform cut, as we've seen in La Liga. And I think, while we're looking at other clubs, we're looking at Arsenal, we're looking at, other Premier League clubs waiting for something to be announced. I think the reason that it's not, and part of the reason that Spurs did what they did and tried to put pressure on, is that they're trying to accelerate reaching some sort of group agreement. Now, there's probably not, there's dissent from what I understand in the Premier League. I think the smaller clubs in the Premier League feel like, well, why should we have to sacrifice as much as the incredibly super rich top 6 European clubs? So that all needs to be ironed out. But clearly, I think some intervention is required, and the people at the top end of the game need to, as much as anything, look after the lower earners within clubs and the lower earners within the football pyramid, because it is, as Sophie says, a really difficult time.
We see this anytime there's either a tragedy of epic proportion, like or cases who, and it's tough to really know what the right answer is, but